It's hard because there are so many choices and opportunities out there now that we can be very tempted to sign our kids up to everything. Hey guys, it's Christine. Welcome to another video. If you're new here, I am a homeschooling mama. I post homeschool content and encouragement for mums. So if that sounds like something you would like, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It would be wonderful to have you here. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you 7 things that homeschooling isn't. Okay, we talk about what homeschooling is, what it looks like, but today I want to talk about what homeschooling is not. I think this is going to be helpful for both new homeschooling parents and also even ones who have been doing it for a while, because we have a habit of falling into these things. These are not things that are exclusive to anybody. We all could fall into it. So I want to chat to you a little bit about the things that homeschooling is not. The first thing that homeschooling isn't is a game of comparison. It doesn't matter what the homeschool family down the road is doing. All that matters is what you're doing with your family. Stop looking at everyone around you and just focus on what you need to do for your children. You don't have to use the same curriculum. You don't have to attend the same activities. If you want to, that's fine. But you don't need to be comparing your children from the family down the road. In fact, I would even say don't compare your children to one another. They're each in their own individual learning journey, and that's normal and that's fine. Just focus on their needs. But don't play the game of comparison, because I will 100% guarantee you it will breed discontentment and resentment among people, and it's just not a healthy thing to do. So we all have this tendency to look at other people and think, oh, I wonder if I should be doing that, or oh, my kid's not there yet. Should they be doing better? Don't worry about it. It's always healthy to have standards to kind of look at things, but don't make it like a game. Don't make it we have to be there and we have to be doing this, because you don't. You really don't. Homeschooling is about freedom and choice and doing things that suit your child. So just focus on that and you'll be good. Homeschooling is not public school at home. This is something that a lot of people struggle with. They think that you've just got to sit down and follow the same schedule and do the same subjects and the same curriculum. No, you do not. You can start school at 3 in the afternoon if you want to. You can start it at 7 in the morning if you want to. You don't have to sit down for hours on end and work in workbooks. Do what you want. Homeschooling is a wonderful opportunity to work to your family's needs and schedule and all that kind of stuff. You don't have to make it fit into the typical public school mold, okay? I think a lot of us choose to homeschool because we want to get away from that. So don't feel like you need to follow the same things. And this can be difficult if you were raised going to public school and you've just taken your kids out of public school, because you're in that mindset and it's difficult to think outside of that. Don't worry if you're struggling with it right now. It will come, and over time you will learn how to just be flexible and figure out what works best for you. But just realize homeschooling isn't public school at home. It's something completely different. The third thing that homeschooling isn't is a race. It doesn't matter if your kid graduates at age 14 or if your kid takes till 18 to graduate. It is your child's journey. It's where your child needs to go. So don't worry about what everyone else is doing. This is kind of going back to the comparison thing, but really, you don't need to be rushing through things. Take your time. Make sure your child is finding joy in what they're learning instead of feeling pressured to just get it done. It doesn't have to be that way. Right now, our schoolwork is very quick to get through, but I don't want it to be just we have to get through it. I want to enjoy what we're doing. So homeschooling is not a race. Don't make it a race. It's not fun to race. Number 4, homeschooling is not doing all the things. Okay? It's okay if you want to do all the things, but you don't have to do all the things. Homeschooling it's hard because there are so many choices and opportunities out there now that we can be very tempted to sign our kids up to everything. Or even just with curriculum, I've had to hold myself back so much because there's so much good stuff out there that you're just oh, we'll do that and we'll do this and we'll do that. And before you know it, you're just overwhelmed. So my big piece of advice, especially for a new homeschooler, is to start out with minimal amounts and then slowly add to it as you feel it works for your family. But if you see signs of overwhelm, if you see signs of burnout, if you see signs of your children losing joy in the things that they're doing, or even just you losing joy in it, pull back. You don't have to do all the things. Your kids won't suffer. They'll be fine. Number 5 is that homeschooling is not about unrealistic expectations. Okay? You're not going to be the perfect homeschool mom. You're going to snap at your kids. You're going to be short-tempered. You're going to lose your patience. You're going to be grumpy someday. You're going to be in a bad mood. You're not going to want to do school some days, and that's okay. And the same applies to your children. We are human. We are sinful. We do things wrong. We're selfish, and we're never going to be perfect. And that's okay. The point is that you're working on it, that you're trying to help mold your children's character and build them up, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day, that you're trying, that you're working on it. But just don't set up these unrealistic expectations where you're going to have beautiful, perfect homeschool days. I mean, you will sometimes, but you're not going to have that every day. You're going to have days where your child doesn't want to try and read. You're going to have days where you don't want to work with your child to get them to try and read. So just don't set those things up for yourself. Just, give everybody a bit of grace. Number 6, homeschooling is not crazy. People are going to make you feel like you're crazy for doing it, but it's not crazy. The concept of homeschooling has been around for centuries, okay? Homeschooling is an extension of parenting, okay? You choosing to take control of your child's education is not a crazy thing to do. And the fact that people think that you're not qualified to teach your child after coming out of the same system that they're advocating for is kind of testimony. I'm just like, well, if you're not qualified after going through that same system, then isn't there something failing there? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, all that aside, you're qualified, you're not crazy, and you're doing your child a great service. It's a huge benefit to them. I know. I was homeschooled. My mom made those sacrifices. She worked really hard, and I will forever be grateful to her for doing that. And the last thing that I'm going to mention is that homeschooling isn't an island. You're not on your own. Your kids are not going to lack socialization. In fact, they're probably going to have better quality socialization, more real life socialization, but you're also not on your own. The things that you're struggling with, another mom is struggling with as well. Your fears are fears that somebody else has as well. So all of that to say, it's not an island. You're not on your own. Reach out, find someone who's in the same boat as you and work together. So those are my 7 things that homeschooling isn't. There is a blog post that goes along with it, which I will have linked in the description below for you. Tell me, if you are a homeschooling mom, what you thought homeschooling was but actually isn't now that you're homeschooling. I'd be curious to hear what you say. I don't know what I could say about that. I mean, I've just said 7 things, but you know what I mean. I don't know if there's something else I can think of off the top of my head, but I'd be very curious to hear your answers. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars,